So Kash Patel is being pressed about the Epstein files.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes or no?
I'm mad confused as to why he doesn't just give a yes or no. I mean, even saying yes, he's in the files, I feel like most people already... I mean, you gotta realize, like, there's so many famous people and just celebrities in the files that a lot of this stuff, if it was to get out, yeah, it would be universe ending.
Alphabet.
Yes or
Yeah,
no?
like this comment thread really says this clip the best. You know, these files get out, they're gonna implicate some of the world's most powerful people in just crazy stuff. And this wouldn't be a collapse just in the United States. This will be a global collapse because this isn't just here.
No, ABC.
Director,
it sounds like
But this man is just reciting the alphabet, bro. And it's like, why is he reciting the alphabet? Why can't he just give a straight answer? There were little kids. There were kids on that island. Horrible things happened to them. I don't know why he doesn't give a straight answer. I mean, I got to see the full context, obviously, but I don't get it.
you try serving your constituency
Director,
by
did you tell the
focusing on
Attorney
reducing
General
violent
that
crime in this
Donald
country and the number of pedophiles that are
Director,
legally
reclaim
harbored
that time,
in
Director.
sanctuary cities in
Director,
California.
reclaim
I'll
that
work with
time.
you on that.
Regular
You
order,
gotta work
Mr.
with us
Chairman.
on that.
Director,
I'm
reclaim
the
that
honest
time.
gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein
This is why, if this is real, that's actually crazy. That's actually crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna fact check that right now while this plays.
files?
Question has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt.
DC.
Director,
DEF,
it sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files? Remembering your oath.
Yeah,
to tell the
we'll
truth.
go back to that.
Before you joined the FBI, you railed against it for covering up Jeffrey Epstein's human trafficking ring. Let me refresh your memory.
DC.
Director,
Before you joined the FBI, you railed against it for covering up Jeffrey Epstein's human trafficking ring. Let me refresh your memory with this clip.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
So you finished that December 2023
That's
interview
crazy.
with a challenge to the FBI and
That's
harsh words
crazy.
for Republicans in Congress
That's
for
crazy.
not getting the Epstein files out to the public. You can see this clip.
Boy pants, and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are, you said. You emphasized that the president and FBI director each had complete authority to release Epstein's client list. You said Epstein's black book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI. Look at this clip.
This is way off the topic, but who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
black book?
FBI.
But who? That is I mean,
Well,
there's
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
All right, so you were sworn in as director more than 200 days ago. Now the black book is under your direct control. So why haven't you released the name?
Now, let me just give you guys a little bit of background in case you don't know who Kash Patel is. He was born in 1980 in New York, bachelor's degree in criminal justice and history, got his law degree and then certificate in international law. He's held a ton of public service and pretty decent roles, especially under Trump-aligned administrations. Some of his early work was as a public defender in Florida, and then later as a federal public defender in the Southern District of Florida. He joined the Department of Justice in 2012. In 2017, he became senior aide to Rep. Devin Nunes, then chair of House Intelligence Committee. He was a lead author of the Nunes memo, which criticized how the FBI handled surveillance of a Trump associate. He held positions in National Security Council, and he served as chief of staff to the Secretary of Defense in late 2020/early 2021. Media and business side would just be, he's been involved with the Trump Media and Technology Group and launched the Kash Foundation. But yeah, November of 2024, Trump announced that he was going to replace Christopher Wray with Kash Patel for the FBI director role. And he's the 9th director of the FBI. He's definitely a polarizing figure. Definitely a polarizing figure.
Of Epstein's co-conspirators in the rape and sex trafficking of young women and girls?
The Rolodex, which is what everybody colloquially refers to as the Black Book, has been released.
Oh, no, you're talking about what the journalist got 5 years ago? No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you were talking about there.
That's
the Black
exactly
Book
what
under
I'm
the
talking-
direct control of the FBI director.
We have released more material than anyone else before. The Biden administration, Obama administration had the exact opportunities to release this material, and they never did. And if you are selling the men and women of the FBI,
Why
we're
do
not
you
going after
change your
child
position?
predators. Hang on, you said we're not going after child predators. 1,500 child predators arrested this year, 35%
Okay,
increase,
I'll reclaim my time.
4,700 child victims
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to
found.
reclaim my time if you could instruct the witness. Why have you changed your position? There you were saying it's under the direct control of the FBI director and all of it should be released. Why have you changed your
Everything
position?
that has been lawfully permitted to be released has been released. And as I told you,
Really?
the investigation was limited. And let me make something crystal clear. I never said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic other people, other women, and they're not other victims. This is the investigation we were given from 2006, 7, and 8, and the search warrants from 2006, 7, and 8. That's what we're working with.
Well, wait, have you released all of the stuff that the FBI has seized from Epstein's house? The computers, the emails, the file cabinets, the documents? What about the financial records? Have you released all of that?
Everything the court has allowed us to
Which
release.
court?
So there's definitely a lot more stuff in the Epstein files which haven't been released, which probably isn't going to be released because, like Director Patel is saying, yada, 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 it's against the law to release
When I say that you are the least qualified, Kash Patel has now come out and issued a statement fully capitulating to the public insistence that they're lying to us. They are so clearly lying to us about what happened on the day that Charlie Kirk lost his life. Nothing they've told us thus far makes any sense, and somehow it's only getting worse. So welcome back. Let's jump right into this. Kash Patel has now come out and issued a statement fully capitulating to the public insistence that they're lying to us. They are so clearly lying to us about what happened on the day that Charlie Kirk lost his life. Nothing they've told us thus far makes any sense, and somehow it's only getting worse. So welcome back. Let's jump right into this. Kash Patel has now come out and
Yeah, I
Kash
mean,
Patel.
there's a lot of things going on right
When
now
I say that you are Kash Patel
related to Kash Patel. So let's just take the focus off Kash and just search like politics. Because we could go on for a year about this dude.
when I
Kash.
say
Trump just gave the worst speech an American president has ever given. Honestly, maybe the worst speech an American in general has ever given. And you're seeing America's allies pretty dumbfounded on how to proceed. But if you missed it, Trump complained that the UN wouldn't let him remodel the building. He said that everyone's country is going to hell. He complained about the mayor of London. He rambled about windmills. And he talked about clean, beautiful coal while insisting that he's really good at this stuff. And he also said, quote, "Together, let us defend free speech and free expression," which is kind of crazy for a guy that's doing what he's doing right now. And with this, you had the Australian foreign minister saying the speech was unsurprising, the Colombian president, a major non-NATO ally, calling for a criminal investigation into Trump. One senior diplomat at the UN said, "This man is stark raving mad. Do Americans not see how embarrassing this is?" You had a senior South Korean official saying, "We no longer consider the US a North American country. It's clearly Central American in governance," which, if you don't speak diplomat, they're saying America is now corrupt and run by a ridiculous authoritarian. A Latin American official said that the speech confirmed that Trump's approach to the world is vibes rather than facts. You had the British media calling the speech deranged and a long and humiliating rant. They even went as far as to say that the world needs a strong anti-Trumpian alliance. German media said that Trump is getting crazier by the minute and said that the speech was bizarre. The French media called the speech staggering, violent, and incoherent. Canadian media, in a very polite way, said that Trump lives in another reality. And then others were generally saying that Trump feels like basically Brandon on dementia steroids now. But hey, we're all in the car together, so buckle up and follow to stay in the loop.
I gotta hear the speech.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election.
Let me search it up right now. Trump.
You think for a second you want...
Speech.
Tomorrow, we're going to be talking in the Oval Office in the White House about autism, how it happens, so we won't let it happen anymore. It was Charlie who helped unite MAGA, and You know what MAHA is? That's right, Make America Healthy Again. And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcement, really medically, I think, in the...
Yeah, this was saying that if you take Tylenol, you shouldn't be taking it when you're pregnant, I believe. There's some more information besides that, but I think that was the crux.
history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking in the Oval Office in the White House about autism, how it happens, so we won't let it happen anymore, and how to get at least somewhat better when you have it, so that parents can help their child, their beautiful child. That's a big one. I've been bugging everybody over there, get the answer to that. You know, 20 years ago, 1 in 10,000 were born with autism. 20 years ago. The most recent survey says 1 in 12. How bad is that? That's for young boys, baby boys, but also girls, a little bit better. It's about 1 in 20, but we can't, because obviously there was something really wrong, and we think we know what that is. It's going to be, I think it's going to be one of the most important news conferences I'll ever have, and I look so forward to it.
Yeah, so just to sum up the recent 2 Trump speeches over the weekend, the one we're looking at right now was at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, and specifically the autism claim, which is the only thing I'm going to talk about here from that speech. I addressed mostly everything else in a previous video, and I will be addressing it more in a further video. But in terms of the autism claim, Trump and his administration essentially claimed that there's a link between Tylenol, use during pregnancy, and autism in children. They're promoting LEUCOVORIN, which is a form of folic acid, to relieve some symptoms of autism. The White House is pushing for a label change on the Tylenol and is launching increased federal research regarding everything I just talked about. The expert and scientists are essentially saying that there's no strong evidence to link pregnancy to autism. Studies are essentially saying correlation and not causation. There's a failure to find a clear causative effect in the eyes of many experts and scientists around the world. And a lot of medical associations and autism research groups are cautious and critical against overhyping these types of claims, as they could mislead families or stigmatize autism. But I mean, this is a politically charged issue. If you're using medical claims in a politically beneficial way, it could increase the chance of misinformation, but if it is true, it's definitely a good thing to get that out there. Then the UN speech from Trump, which is just what I'll end this video talking about. The main things Trump touched on were national sovereignty, immigration control, skepticism of global cooperation/institutions. He criticized immigration, calling it destructive, discussed climate change events, talked about what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. Also talked about how his administration had ended or resolved multiple global conflicts, which is very nice, but there is one global conflict which is still going on, and I think everyone knows what I'm talking about there. But yeah, his tone was, I would say, extremely sharp and accusatory. He told a bunch of other world leaders that their countries were essentially going to hell. So yeah, a lot of critics said that the speech undermined America's role in global leadership. A lot of commentators said it was less about diplomacy and more about domestic messaging to a political base. But yeah, that's it. Went down a rabbit hole, and as that's yeah, I think this is a good place to end it. Have a good night, everybody.